Hello, I am MF Kraven, and welcome back or welcome to Less Than 10 Minute Reviews, where I showcase games I think look cool, give you the technicals and my thoughts on them in less than 10 minutes. Today I take a look at Lord Reincarnation, a brutal, turn-based dungeon crawler where you assemble a party, explore the dungeon, fight hordes of monsters, all to defeat the Demon Lord Laynad. But is embarking on this journey to defeat evil worth the buy? Let's find out. Graphics, sound, and art style. You have this highly stylized art style from Toriyoto's archive, but with a two-color type of aesthetic, and it really just brings it all alive. Whether it be black and white or yellow and black in the second half of the game, there's an elegance in its simplicity. The sound in the DLR sounds old school and girthy. It's very, very much welcomed. Gameplay. So in this game, you start off in a dungeon, right above where the Demon Lord was banished long ago. And here, you start your journey by welcoming other warriors set on destroying Laynad. There are 20 different classes, which include archers, bishops, brawlers, dark mages, dwarves, executioners, fencers, fighters, generals, guards, heretics, knights, lords, mages, priests, princesses, sages, spearmen, thieves, and valkyries. Where by the campfire, you assemble 4 of them, with completely randomized stats of these classes, no two classes of the same kind in any party, each class having their own stats with abilities in some, like for example the Valkyrie being hybrids of 2 classes. Assembling your team is only part of the fun, as when you're ready, you'll go straight into the dungeon. Upon descending onto the dungeon, you're met with a map you must keep track of yourself, as there is no mini-map or anything like that that can keep track of where you are. Visually, you don't see any enemies in front of you, but they are always surrounding you. When engaging with enemies, you're brought into a turn-based menu where at first your party won't know any specialty moves, but through battle, they'll start quote-unquote trying new things out. For example, a mage will randomly use a fireball and it'll forever be in your arsenal as long as you keep said mage alive. Use your wits to measure whether or not you can take on enemies, as there is no gear, no potions, you can only heal while resting. But depending on where you are, you can be ambushed. Permadeath exists, so if you're particularly fond of any character, run away from battles until you can find a good room, and there are a few of them that are safer but never 100% safe to rest. The dungeon is separated in 2 parts. You'll know you're in the latter part of the game simply by the color change. And while I don't want to give the big plot twist of the game away, just don't read the game's key features on the Steam page, because after beating the game, it gets good. Price. $7.99 USD. How many hours estimated? I'm about 6 hours into my gameplay and I already know that I'm going to sink another 14 to 20 hours. I have this really good party with the utmost symmetry that I'm grinding really hard on right now. As reading the manual, and you really should read the manual to understand the game, each character can have up to 8 skills, and I'm on 5 skills on a few and 4 on another. Is it playable on Steam Deck? Not only is it playable, it's my preferred way of playing it. I have a newborn in my house, so while feeding her or doing everyday tasks, I can actually just use the right side of my Steam Deck with one hand to play it. Final thoughts. You know how some people call games hidden gems? Well, if that moniker could fit one game this year, it's this one. Seemingly coming out of nowhere, then onto my radar. And if I'm being honest, I wasn't really expecting to like the game as much as I've been liking it. There's no fancy battle animations, it's all text. Enemies can't be seen on screen, which upon first glance wasn't my favorite, but I've grown to like the fear the unknown element of it. Taking cover in a room to heal up only to be flipped 180 degrees, with the message, "Someone approached you from the shadows," has been both frustrating and fun. There's no hand-holding in this game, and it's easy to dive in a few hours each time you play through it. If I could just tweak some things, I would. However, the devs have stood by their artistic and gameplay mechanics. See, I would love to see a dark shadow moving around the dungeon to signify enemies approaching you. I love a map where I can see to make it a bit easier to get back to the second half of the game, and while gaining an ability at a low level is relatively easy, perhaps having a priest, for example, already come with a heal ability at the campfire would be nice. Achievements and stats to show how many enemies I've killed, how many of my party members have died, renaming a character, and how many times I've picked certain classes, etc., etc. But still, for $8 USD entry price, it's totally worth it, especially since it works so well on Steam Deck. Would I recommend Demon Lord Reincarnation? Hell yeah. Buy it now.